up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back.
Yo, what's shaking, Lou?
Robert, it's great to see you. It's been a while, so nice to be here with you.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love when you say that line. Can you say it one more time? Just one more time.
Yo, what's shaking?
I love that.
No, what's cooking, Big Papa? I feel like I haven't seen you in like a month, maybe.
Well, it's been actually a very busy fall. I mean, we had some amazing CFA events. Franchising Meets the Money, our Law Day, our C-Suite. I believe you were there as well in September downtown. We just finished our Toronto franchise show near the end of October. You were one of the exhibitors.
Yeah.
I gotta, before we move on, I really have to say this too, especially for your audience. Oh my God. I mean, what a booth. You had the VR display and everything.
Okay, give me some more. I need some more.
No. There was lineups, right?
Yeah.
And we had some exhibitors, and I'm not going to mention any names. One in particular that had that sword. It looked really funny because they had the VR helmet on and what have you. So no, it was a great show. We did something different in the show. We added more experiences at the booths, so interactions with the public, and I think it paid off because yours was one of your booths that was a highlight. It was packed. Did you get what was your impression of the show?
Well, I mean, first of all, I always think that the CFA shows are wonderful, right? I've done them in the past, and they're always so well organized. And your team is just like some of the kindest people in the world, like they'll walk by and they'll say, "How's it going, Bruski?" or "How's it going, Robert?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't think I've seen you in like a year. How do you even remember my name? I have no idea who you are." It's just like the most welcoming feeling, right? And you guys do an awesome job at driving traffic, and then it's up to the exhibitors to drive that traffic to our booth, right? So it was a lot of fun, especially I think considering there was something big going on in Toronto that we were worried about the traffic being diverted, but it didn't. Like we were was it like a Halloween or something? I can't remember.
Yes, there was some Halloween parties because it was just before Halloween. So.
Yeah, but you guys delivered anyways. I got to tell you though, my favorite CFA event that I go to, I mean, it happens once a year, is always the one where you guys bring in the economist from the bank.
Okay.
What's that one called? It's not Meet the Money. It's not the C-Suite.
It was the C-Suite.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that one. I'm a major economic nerd, so I love hearing him talk and start getting into supply shocks and whatever. It was great.
No, it was because you hear like from the experts, what are the conditions? What were the conditions? What happened in 2024? And what can we expect for 2025? So this way, leaders in the franchise world like yourself can make, pivot or make those decisions on which route to go, where to go, in terms of also acquiring more franchisees. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So we'll have that again probably sometime in 2025.
It's the coolest. I love it. I mean, but it's not for everyone. For economics nerds like me, it's awesome. Yeah. But you guys just rocked the Vancouver franchise show too, right?
Well, I tell you, Robert, I don't know. It's like a sleeping giant. All right. We had almost more attendance at the Vancouver show than our Toronto show. It was unbelievable. I think we had 2,000 people or close to it at the Vancouver show for the 2 days. It was unbelievable. People were just pouring in on a Saturday and Sunday. Not sure why, but wow. It was unbelievable. All our supplies, all our magazines, we had CFA directories, information to give it to the attendees, all gone.
There's always this joke that people from Ontario think they're the center of Canada, like Ontario's the most important. So being an Ontarian, maybe that's because those fellas out west just totally get clobbered with rain all the time.
No, it was a fabulous 2 days, which was great. and then we came back and we had another event, which was fabulous. And then next week, which is I think the last event, the CFA event of the year, is our holiday meet and greet that's open for everybody,
Yep.
right? So
You got to
whether you're a
dress in
franchise,
Christmas attire, right?
well, you could dress up as a holiday. You don't necessarily need to celebrate Christmas. It's just like it gives us an opportunity to meet as a group, as a franchise community. We don't do that enough, I believe. I think we should do that more often.
Yeah.
And this is one of the opportunities to be together. The last I saw earlier this morning, we have about 110 or so that have signed up, which is
Oh,
great.
awesome.
Next Wednesday, December the 4th, between, I believe it's 4 to 7 at the amazing Pacini restaurant on Dairy Road and Highway
Yeah.
10. And I tell you, Robert, have you been there before?
I feel like I have. I think I was at a Pacini's at like a meet and greet after one of the shows in Toronto.
Oh, yes, yes, we
Yeah.
did. We
Yeah.
did. So if you haven't been, and for your audience, all right, and you're a CFA member, you have to come because
Yeah.
it is amazing. The food is amazing. It's out of this world. They have this kind of really neat bread area where you actually toast or grill your own bread and
Like a bread buffet kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. It is amazing. So great opportunity to to be there, meet your colleagues before the year end, connect. Yeah, I'm telling you, the appetizers of food is great. So for those that have not yet registered, please go on our website, register, and be there. And
What's your website?
CFA.ca.
.ca. Remember that. Every time I go online, I'm naturally just hitting .com all the time, and sometimes I get emails bounce back. I'm like, duh, it's .ca.
.ca, and then go events, and you'll see the holiday meet and greet. And please sign up. Will you be there, Rob?
I think so.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
I have no idea what I'm doing this afternoon. I gotta check my calendar.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so with all these events coming up, I mean, first of all, is there anything else you want to lay on me? But if there isn't, what would you say is like your favorite event that comes up in the latter part of the year? Maybe one of the upcoming ones or anything like that?
Well, there's two things that really stand out. One is our convention, but I'll leave that for a second.
Okay.
But before we get to our convention, which is in April 5th to the 7th, is our franchise show, our main franchise show, our Toronto franchise show, February 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
Which will be on the International Center. So that's the one. We have two per year, one in October and February. February usually our bigger one. So we had a really good show last year at the International Center. We're gonna be new and improved. We're gonna have so many exhibitors, and I'm telling you, there's gonna be rush hour traffic coming in the building, especially Rob, if you're gonna be there again, because word gets around, word spreads, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for those exhibitors that are thinking are not registered as an exhibitor, please give me a call or go on our website, cfa.ca. Go into our trade shows, franchise shows, and you can register and get yourself a booth. So it'll be a great time. But our main event, our main jewel that I look forward to every single year is our national convention. Now, I've been with CFA almost 15 years. January will be my 15th year anniversary with
Congratulations.
I've never missed a convention.
Yeah.
So even during the COVID years, we had an online convention, so to speak. Never missed one. And I mean, you were there. Were you there you were there in Montreal last year, right?
Yeah, I had some personal stuff to take care of, so I swung by the Montreal one for the education committee meeting, which I'm
Yes, yes.
on. But I've done the Ottawa one, the Niagara Falls one. Yeah.
Oh, and what an amazing convention it was in Montreal. I mean, we weren't there for a few years, and wow. I mean, and the timing, like these conventions are booked probably 3, 4, 5 years in advance, right? Because
Wow. Yeah.
getting the hotels and everything. And who knew? First night of convention, what do you have at the Bell Center? The Leafs versus the Habs, which is
Ah,
fabulous. So
that
quite a
rivalry. Yeah.
number of our delegates, attendees went to see the game on Saturday night. And then on the last day, Monday afternoon, I believe it was 3:22 in the afternoon. Guess what we had? You remember what we had?
No.
The solar eclipse.
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were lucky because we had a coffee break between 3 and 3:30, and everybody rushed, went
Yes.
outside. We had these cool glasses inside. So yeah, it was an amazing uh, convention. I think we had um, either like 495 or 505, 510. We had a full house. It was
Oh,
uh
awesome.
it was busy, it was great. We had some really good keynote speakers, panel discussions, and it was fabulous. Now, fast forward to 2025, April 5th to 7th, we are in our what we call our, kind of our hometown where we have our convention, Niagara Falls, right?
Yeah.
And never disappoints. So
Yeah.
for most of our members, CFA members, you can drive there. You don't have to fly there. For those that have to fly, I'm sorry, but it is
Yeah.
what it is. But you won't be disappointed. We have so much. We're going to have some amazing keynotes. I can't spill the beans, but
Well,
one
I'll jump
is,
in here and I'll say for any Americans listening who
yeah.
are members of the CFA or becoming members of the CFA, Niagara Falls on the Canadian side is very different than Niagara Falls on the US side. This is like our own version of Las Vegas. So if you're ready for a good time, what was that, Lou?
I said it's much better. Our
Much better.
side of Niagara Falls, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so yes, and I always tell our Canadian sorry, our US friends that many are CFA members, but they're brands or they work in the States. I say, hey, just fly into Buffalo and you can almost walk over. I
Yeah.
mean, take a
I think
bus,
you
take
can't
a
walk
taxi,
over.
or,
I think
or
there's a pedestrian
yeah,
walkway.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to a huge crowds. Registration's open now, which is great. So don't have to wait till January or February when you get busy. You can go online, register now. We have a room block available, and the rates are really good at the moment. So I encourage everyone to make plans, put it in your calendar, and go and register for the convention. It's going to be awesome.
No doubt, eh? Okay, cool. Well, just before we wrap it up, is there anything else you want to talk about here?
Well, I can go on and on, but let's talk about you.
Oh, stop
Let's
it.
talk about you.
Okay.
So I know you are in expansion mode with
Yep.
your system. So tell me a little bit about what's going on in your franchise world.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that the big sort of milestone that most franchisors faced was the lockdown specifically, right? So after the lockdowns lifted, which were extremely long in Canada, all of our stores, I mean, the ones that survived, because like many franchise systems, we took a hit, the ones that survived had a record year in 2023. So now we're getting close to the end of the year of 2024. I'm excited to put the numbers together, but I think one thing that a lot of people forget about franchising is, sure, you've got your franchisees and your corporate stores, but the franchise business itself has a whole bunch of expenses, right? Like you have to have support staff, you have to get your financials done, your legal work, all that sort of stuff. These were all costs that continued to have to be incurred over the course of the lockdowns. So a lot of franchisors right now are going through the motions of trying to recoup their costs. So we're very excited that not only have we made it through the lockdowns, we've made it through recessionary or inflationary times and through this sort of COVID financial hangover. And now we just opened up a location in Mount Forest, Ontario. We just announced the opening of a new location in Cambridge, Ontario. We're on the verge of signing a lease for another one in Hamilton area. We're working with locations in Kingston, Mississauga, Scarborough, Burlington, and then of course our US expansion right now. Got an awesome candidate from North Carolina that I'm excited. Just got a bunch of leads from Atlanta. So the growth is there, but it's important to make sure you're doing it responsibly and ethically, because fast growth always comes with difficulties. So, I mean, I love the chaos. I thrive in it. So that's what's cooking with me.
Awesome. That's great to hear. So, Robert, can we do this again? Because I got so much on my plate I want to talk about to your audience. And one of the things, maybe if we do this again in a couple of weeks,
Sure.
I want to talk about the CFE program, the Certified Franchise Executive Program
Okay.
that we have licensed from the IFA for our CFA members here in Canada. Great program for those that are not familiar with it. We can go through it and what have you. And I'll just leave you with the fun thing at the end of the program. Once you graduate, guess what? After your name, you get the letter CFE, and that's fabulous.
Yep, I've got mine. I've got a.
Oh, you got yours? Awesome.
Yeah, I got it
Great.
through the CFA. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have mine too, which is great. So maybe we'll spend some time talking about that next time.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. In that case, let's wrap it off. Do you have like a token sign off you'd love to give?
I don't well, I did because Angela Cote took mine because I always said about being awesome. So hers is go be awesome. Mine is stay awesome.
Okay, so why don't we find a middle ground and we both say on the count of 3, stay frosty, which is mine.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Stay frosty.
I take shots to the top, I'll get it. I got one life, I'ma do all to win it. I do what's right, push until I fall, I'm slipping to get back up. Always stand tall, I'm grinning. I got cuts real deep, big bruises scarred. I had to learn how to think with my head not hard. I've been chewed up, spit out, torn apart. But picking up all the pieces is a form of art.
I'm never gonna look back.